It's a beautiful day and it's the end of May, which means it's time for, believe it or not, another plot tour. Can't believe it's been a month since the last one. Lots to show you, lots of changes, so let's get on with it. Okay, so I think we'll start with the pond area as normal. Looking lovely, lots of duckweed in there. I need to spoon some out actually. But forget-me-nots, water forget-me-nots in flower now. Everything's blooming away, the tulips are finished. This fennel's coming on great. We've got this dwarf lupin here doing fabulously. Dying off at the bottom a little bit now. Some Dutch iris here looking absolutely stunning. And this, you may have seen on my Instagram actually, these pictures, but these two, there's actually two lupins here looking absolutely stunning. They are going over a bit now, but there is some little tiny flower spikes at the bottom ready to come. But look how amazing they've been. And we've got wheelbarrow that I've planted up now. The dwarf dahlias in there did not make it over the winter, sadly, so I've planted that up with some more petunias, stock, lobelia to give a bit of colour in there. I've got the thyme here, that's an absolutely gorgeous flower, smelling beautiful. And on the edge of the pond here we've got this aster which has gone crazy. This is autumn flowering, that was divided last year but it's gone crazy again. That'll give you a good show, and the bees absolutely love it in the autumn, so it's a great one. Lily's doing okay apart from a lot of holes from lily beetle. I found a couple here. Bit of a nightmare, but you know, what can you do? We'll do our best. It's got some dahlias come up in the dahlia bed here. This one. We've had a few slug attacks, but they're doing okay, and the rest seem to be coming okay. So it looks like they survived the winter, they're just a bit slow. And I've just planted some zinnia, giant zinnia, in between these dying off daffodils. So that should be a bit of colour coming through in the next month or so. Go over to this side. Carrot box, let's have a look. There we go. Carrots doing okay, first row, and then we have got some germination on the second row that I've sown in there as well. And there is my 3 surviving Globo onions that I've just decided to pop in here. So we'll see how they do. Next to the carrots, we've got the second dahlia bed. Now we've got one emerging here that had a slug attack, hence the eggshells there. And then we've got one that's come through here. No sign of the others, but you know, we'll be patient, we'll wait. And then we've got some sunflowers here. Not huge sunflowers, these are lemon queen that I've dotted through. And in the centre there's also some giant zinnias in a different colour. We've got some gorgeous sage in flower at the end here. And some wormwood there that I've planted in. Dwarf apple tree looking really good. Got lots of these lovely apples forming on it. Blossom was beautiful, as you may have seen in previous videos. And then we've got some strawberries doing well under here as well. Let's have a look at the herbs. And then we've got my herb planters that I've planted up on top here now. So this is lemon thyme, doing okay. Lemon balm, parsley I've chopped back. Mint, sage is in flower there, looking beautiful. Thyme is in flower, looking beautiful. A new addition, some marjoram, and then at the end there we've got some more thyme, garlic chives, and look at this chamomile in flower. Gorgeous. Okay, let's pop along to behind the polytunnel here. So if I get out of the shadow, you'll be able to see I've direct sown, should I say, some dwarf French beans in there because I had this bed spare. Originally was going to be for outdoor tomatoes, but tomatoes were a bit of a flop. So used the space, they've come up brilliantly. Everyone's germinated. And here's where I've actually put the king tut peas in the end. I was going to put them over the archway, but I decided to put them here in my new bed, the side of the polytunnel. And then I just put some dwarf French that are just coming through now. A couple have been slug attacked sadly, but yeah, thought I'd better make good use of the space. Right, let's go down the main drag. First of all, got on the left, these are the early onward peas, looking amazing, so lush. And we've got some flowers forming here, they're looking really good. And some direct sown calendulas coming up there nicely. Got some beautiful Sweet William here, and on this side. And then I've put the purple pole beans from Ali on both sides, and they are doing really well. They are French climbing beans, not doing any runners. And then potatoes, they're looking good, eh? So first early, second early, and then we've got some main crop Cara. There is some volunteers in there, which is why the rows are a bit higgledy-piggledy. That's definitely a volunteer in the middle there. I think that could be Maris Pia from last year. And then got some Cara of my own saved seed potato from last year. That's a little trial. That seems to be doing okay. It's a bit slower. But yeah, these in the containers are doing really good. These containers have been fantastic. They don't dry out as much, I find. Really good. So yeah, looking good on the old spud front. And we've even got first flowers. Nice. Okay, over this side we've got my two birdies' beds, but as you can see, I've put an arch over there. So that is going to be now for my Greek gigantes, which are planted down here. I'll try and stay out the shadow. And in the bottom of this bed, this is Ferrari dwarf bean. And I thought, do you know what, I'm going to try like a little spare scarlet kale in there, because I believe the pigeons don't like the scarlet kale. Well, any curly kale actually. My plot neighbour had green curly kale all over the winter and it wasn't touched. So I'll have a little trial about that. It's a spare anyway. And these are the purple bush beans from Ali, and they're doing fab. Again, popped another kale in there, and some more Greek gigantes, and they're going to grow over this archway, so that should be fabulous. Right, onions. Let's have a little look at the onions in here. I'm very pleased with them. Wow, look at these. They are doing so well. Fantastically well. I've a couple that I've got seed heads on. There's a few weeds in there, just need to get under there and weed that out. The dreaded bindweed, obviously. But they're very, very good. Happy. Not so good on the garlic front. They did grow amazingly well until about, I'd say, 3 weeks ago. And as you can see, they're absolutely full of rust. But they're still green, they're not dead yet, so from what I've read, they're perfectly edible, and leave them in the ground. Don't need to harvest them just yet, but yeah, I'm in two minds what to do, because I could do with this bed for something else, and I think these will probably be harvested next month anyway, in June, so I don't know whether to get these up. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Have you had a problem with rust on any of your alliums this season so far? And would you get them up? Would you leave them? Weirdly, it's not affected any of the other onions. Pop over this side to avoid my shadow. And these are the Hurst green shaft peas that are doing amazingly well. But we've had pigeons sitting on the top now and nibbling, as you can see. So I've reverted to a little bit of a bird scarer, so we'll see how that works. And then shallots doing well. It looks like they're splitted very well. They have They have bolted those, so there's a few seed flower spikes that I've taken off there. And again, more onions in here, doing okay. These were the later planted ones, the really late ones. And these ones in here, doing well. Weirdly that one looks like it's got a bit of leaf miner in it, so I might get that out, which we've got through some way, but most of them seem okay this year. Let's pop over to this side, and we've got some broccoli in here. Had 2 slug attacks, so trying to protect those. They seem to be doing okay now, but yeah, they are coming on great. Green curly kale. So again, if the butterflies leave these alone, I'll be able to take the nets off as well. So maybe I'll have a little bit of a trial about that for the other ones over in the bean beds. But yeah, I've got my scarlet kale, which were obviously later sown, and then these looking great, these green curly kale, so that's good. Let's go over to the kalettes, Kalette Crazy 2023. Let's have a look under here, shall we? Now we've got the net off. Look at these. So happy with these. So got 6 in here, they're looking great. One did get a bit of a slug attack, but recovered. Very happy indeed with those. And then I've got my Brussels sprouts in this one, so these ones are Brendan, nearest me, Brendan F1, that Danny sent me, and the Bosworth at the back, 3 of the Bosworth. They're doing well, they're putting some good growth within the last week. Then we go on to the taller kales and the perennials. This is what this cage is for. So Taunton Dean looking really good in there, so he's happy. And for the Cavolo Nero, these are Black Magic, looking okay. Now the only thing is, I don't know if it'll let me focus on that. Can you see the little holes? Now that's what's affecting all of my brassicas at the moment. Now I think it is flea beetle. In fact, I think I can see one. What do you think? Have your brassicas been affected so far? How are your brassicas looking? Have you got their dreaded flea beetle yet? Let me know in the comments. Okay, to the end bed of brassicas. Apart from the holes, the little holes from the flea beetles, these are doing really well. These are greyhound cabbage. And looking good. And then the all year round cauliflower, again looking good. Happy with those. And then on to golden acre cabbage. These are looking really, really good. Very happy with them. And then obviously these aren't meshed, these with these spare onions in there, and it looks like we've got some leaf miner damage with all this curling and distortion and deformity of the leaves. So they might have to just come out. A couple of weeks. And there we've got the Swedes, two varieties of Swede there. That's the Swederbeggar Challenge 2023. What do you think, Danny? I'm happy with them. Yours might be bigger, but you know, we'll see. Happy with them anyway. So then, peas, more peas. These are Kelvedon Wonder. These are doing okay, flowering. These are the first to flower. So happy with these, and we've even got the first pod forming here. So happy with those. They were getting nibbled at the bottom here. I bought some more bird scarers. Pigeons, hey? That's what we have, a lot of problem with pigeons here. I've tried some of these shiny bits and pieces as well, so we'll see. On to the fruit and flower garden. So we've got some beautiful delphinium here coming on, doing well. And the comfrey that I chopped back last week is coming back again already, look. New shoots, that won't be long. Again there, some gorgeous scabious there. And then I did a construction of recycled materials. This is from the old lean-to greenhouse at the back of the sheds, the tubing and then some netting, and I fashioned it into a strawberry cage. But as you can see, these strawberries are looking super lush, and there is some strawberries on the way, so I don't want the birds to get them, hence why I've covered them over. But yeah, I think this cage works really well. Didn't cost a thing. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Beautiful alliums, and the bees are loving those. Current putting on some growth, and then we have got some currants on the back there. That's again putting out some new growth, and all the raspberries are looking quite good as well. They were yellowing, a couple of them were yellowing, but I've given them another nitrogen feed yesterday. The delphinium, that's going to look like it's going to be glorious. And all the gladioli are coming up now. So, and then we've got some baby ones there. So that should be good. Some more gorgeous Sweet William here. More gladioli, and then in here, I don't know if you can see, there's some self-seeded stuff. So this is fennel there, self-seeded. Some more fennel here. Nigella, loving the mist. And you see loads more Nigella under that blackberry there. So I'm going to leave those. That'll add a bit of interest in here, and then I'm going to pop the cosmos in here when they're a bit bigger. And so they'll sort of take over once the flower spikes of the gladioli die down. But yeah, looking very lush and nice, comfy, giving the bees a good meal. And the second strawberry bed, not as big as the first, but there's lots of flowers being pollinated, so we should get some fruit off there. Obviously I've covered them over with some netting. And a couple of new additions to the fruit plots. One of my plot neighbours gave me some blackberries, thornless blackberries here. So I thought he didn't want them. They were reduced, I think, really cheap. I think they were sort of half dead. A few pence, I think they were. I thought, I'll have them. I'll rescue them. So some new shoots coming on there. So I've popped them in, give them a feed, and I've just strung some twine up here and just put some posts to keep them. So that's the little plan for there. Right, should we go and look in the polytunnel? Thanks so much, by the way, to all my new subscribers and all my current subscribers. Thank you for all the likes. Really means a lot. So before we go into the polytunnel, these are the strawberry hanging baskets. Doing okay, aren't they? Do have a tendency to dry out, got to keep an eye. Flowers and some fruit setting on there. I'd give all the strawberries a comfrey feed actually. So they should be all right. And then we've got a new addition. Ta-da! Cold frame. There we go. I've painted this actually. It came untreated, but I have painted that just to protect it. It turned out it was probably more cost efficient to actually buy a cheaper cold frame than get the materials and buy one. So I've got some spare brassicas in there that I'll probably give to some plot neighbours because I think my others are past slug attack now. Got some rudbeckia there that I've just germinated. Happy with that, so they can go in, they'll flower later on this year. And then these are my cabbages that I've sown for the winter harvest, so, and cauliflowers. So it's the Romanesco and the all year round Savoy red cabbage, and of course more of the primo. And there's just some squashes down there as well that are sort of a bit small. Let's check this temperature, shall we? Okay, currently 33 degrees with the door open. Down to 5, okay. So, as you can see, I'll stand back. I've constructed something with this, and these are recycled steel poles here. And the aim is going to be, I'm going to put some strings down to attached to these plants and they'll wind around the strings. So I think that's going to be a nice sturdy construction in here. So I've got all my tomatoes planted this side, and then at the back a couple here, and then this is all the peppers this side, and I've companion planted with some marigolds on both sides just to avoid pests. So let's start with the peppers. These are sweet peppers combination, some from Ali that she sent me, so sweet chocolate, red bull's horn, and the California Wonder, and Amy pepper, and the other pepper that's Ali sent, well, the seed that she sent me is Beaver Dam. It's doing really well actually. I think that's probably doing the best, the Beaver Dam. And then we've got a couple of cayenne here, and then down here, this is, where is it? This is the other chili pepper, which is the hot lemon. And then I've got the tomatoes. This is a smaller one that's doing a lot better. It's put some growth onto it to put it in the ground. I was very happy I put these in the ground actually. They've really put on some growth now. They're a lot happier. So Cherokee purple, Big Mama, Big Mama, Big Mama, super sauce, super sauce, super sauce. Then we've got Rio Grande, all down here, 5 of those. And there's some spares that I'm considering putting outside where the garlic is. So let me know what you think. But yeah, and then I brought, this was actually, had this as a house plant at home. This is an avocado that I grew from a stone. But I thought, you know what, I'm gonna bring it up to the polytunnel, leave it in here. It's going to be a lot happier out in here with this heat and humidity, and I might even pop it in the ground here. I would need to sort of probably bubble wrap it for winter, but we'll see. And I've just left my overwintered little elf chili plant there. He's doing fine. He's got more flowers coming on him. So yeah, that is the poly. Okay, time to enjoy this sun and get on with some jobs. My name's Will and you've been watching The Flying Gardener.